I'm going to walk you through a few examples of how different you can take an approach in very similar pieces. This is what I call my tiny series. They're all 3x9 canvases. And in this one, I used a very smooth blending technique for the sky and the reflection in the water. When you go to this piece, I pretty much approached the whole process using a palette knife. I did put a base coat underneath just so I could be more free when I use the palette knife and there would be no white raw canvas underneath. But you can see it's a completely different approach. Now on this one, I used brushwork going from a smooth application on the background and some nice thicker impasto approach on the top, and also a little bit of a scratching with the palette knife to give some extra texture. So you see those pieces are all part of the same series, but they have absolutely different approaches as technique goes. Now this piece is a really good example of dry brush. So you use the paint without any diluted solution and you apply on top of a background. In that way, when you use the brush, see, like it gives this dry effect. It's basically because, you know, the paint that you're putting on top doesn't mix with the one underneath, and it shows some of what is underneath. It gets revealed when you use the dry brush technique on top. Okay, and although I am much more of a dry brush, impasto, alla prima kind of person, every now and then I do use glazing, especially when it comes to portraits. That's when you can get the right hues in the skin, or, you know, like when you want to do a more detailed painting, it comes in really handy knowing how to master your glazing techniques.